Okay, good morning, everybody. Let me get myself situated here, and we can get ourselves going this morning. Okay, get some things out of the way. All right, this is my continuing education for learning more about essential oils and other modalities for your health and wellness. So my name is Diana Hinkle. A lot of you know who I am, but those of you that will be listening to this recording, maybe you don't know who I am. And so let me tell you just a little bit about me, and then we'll get started into our education for today, because I'm excited about today. Of course, I'm usually already excited, but this is more so. So again, I'm Diana Hinkle. Thanks for joining. And I actually started using essential oils and roughly around 7 years ago. And I could not believe the amazing impact it made to my life, and totally changed what I thought about health and wellness. I actually left the dental field after 30 years. I've been doing this since high school, or I was doing that since high school, right? So there's been a huge amount of changes over that time period. And when I was introduced to essential oils, I was amazed at how quickly they could work when I put them on topically. And for me, I already was I was kind of health conscious when it comes to over-the-counter medications or prescriptions. I wasn't the one that wanted to take that kind of stuff. So I was always looking for other outlets. And I found chiropractic work that helped tremendously, because my problem is arthritis, as they call it now, but I was 12 when I was diagnosed with scoliosis. And so I have dealt with a lot of discomfort in my spine for many, many years. And so my pain threshold is really very high, and I can tolerate quite a bit. But when I was introduced to essential oils, I was completely excited, amazed, because I could put something on me that in 30 seconds I could feel the effects of what I put on topically, and I wanted to know more. And then when we started into health and wellness, like taking supplements, and believe me, I've tried a lot. In my years, I have tried many supplements, but I've never been consistent with them, because I guess I've never really felt any different, right? I've never felt that they were what I needed, until doTERRA came along and we started the supplement pack, which is called Lifelong Vitality. And we're going to talk about that today. And people started asking my husband what he was doing different, because they could see a difference in his overall look. His health was different. So that, of course, intrigued me even more. So once I understood, and once I figured out that this was a great way to help myself and others in a natural way, and people don't know about it, it's like, okay, I want to educate people on what wellness products are out there, and essential oils are so helpful in that way. But there is a difference in essential oils, and not all essential oils are created equal. And so we're going to get into that a little bit more today too, because I want you to understand that there is a difference. And what you go out and purchase in a store somewhere may not be what you think it is. And so we're going to get a little bit more into that. So again, welcome. And again, my name is Diana Hinkle, and I'm so happy that you have joined us today. What I'm going to talk about today is a challenge that doTERRA has presented to all of us. And yes, I use doTERRA essential oils, and there's a reason why I have chosen doTERRA. And I have looked into others, and there are factors that I feel doTERRA is a supreme essential oil and company, okay? There's integrity in the company. And when I decided to use doTERRA, it's like, okay, the reason I did is because doTERRA is very conscious about the quality of their essential oils. They don't produce any of the product matter themselves. They actually go globally, and they are 85% exclusive, meaning that they have a signed contract, which they call co-impact sourcing, with growers all over the world, okay? Yes, it's not labeled organic, but really what is organic, right? Organic means, when it comes to the U.S., means to us that it has been, there's no chemicals, right? And they haven't created any, there's no pesticides, no chemicals, none of that, right? So when you go globally, they don't do a lot of the things that we do. And some of those don't even have access to chemicals. And a lot of this is wild crafted. And because it's wild, you can't cultivate it. I mean, you can cultivate it, but you can't change Mother Nature, right? You could try, but usually it doesn't work very well. So I know that that's a very important part. They test their essential oils 7 different times to ensure their quality, which is called Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, CPTG. So what that does mean is every time I get a bottle of essential oil, whether it's I buy it every month or whether I buy it every couple of years, it's going to have the same quality and the same effect. So I know it's going to work every single time that I use that essential oil. So doTERRA, all of our owners, I just came back from leadership, and so they're starting a 30-day challenge, which is a daily regimen of helping not only cleanse the body, but help the body's ability to better itself in its wellness, okay? It has the natural ability of being able to help itself, but how do you do that? So think of this. If we have a car, how often do you change the oil in the car? Why would you do that? Because essential oils, the car has an oil, and that's petroleum-based oil. This is not essential oil. You have to change it because of the grind, everyday working and using that vehicle. The oil gets blacker, darker, okay? It gets a little sludgy. So if you don't change the filters, you don't change the oil, eventually that car doesn't run well, right? Or you don't get the gas mileage that you should be getting. So it's the same in our bodies, okay? Our bodies, we are exposed to toxins every single day, whether you think you are or not, you are, okay? You cannot get away from it. Sorry to tell you that, but you can't get away from the toxins that we're exposed to every single day. And that's the air we breathe, okay? The foods we eat, whether you eat organic or not, you're not always necessarily eating healthy. And I'll explain that, okay? Because nowadays our soils are depleted of nutrients, and so our foods don't get the nutrients it needs, right? The other factor is that since we have to feed the masses, okay, our produce is picked green. So if it's picked green before it's actually ripened on the vine, per se, it does not contain all the nutrients that you think it should have, okay? It takes 3 times as much foods these days to eat, 3 times as much of the same as it did 60 years ago, 50 years ago, okay? It's not the same food. And so what do you do in between, and what do you do for those gaps of nutrition? So like I said, just because you think you're eating good every single day and you're watching your diet, you're watching what you put in your body, it doesn't mean that you're getting the full value of what your body needs, okay? So let me read you something here real quick, and then we'll get into the cleansing thing, because we're going to talk about the cleansing because cleansing is important to the body, right? Because it's the toxins that we're exposed to every single day. So toxins, we know, come from many different sources, especially, you know, I live in an area where we have an international airport. I live in a little bit away, so I'm like a 45-minute drive from there, so I'm still quite a bit further, not right next to it, but I'm in somewhat the pathway of those airlines, right, of those airplanes. And so we also live near an Air Force base, okay? So with that, what is in your air every single day? Okay, just from a, have you ever been on an airplane? Have you ever smelt the jet fuel? That's highly toxic, okay? So think of that, that's in the air like that. We're constantly exposed to that. And I'm one of those that's a little bit more than some of you others. So food, water, our environment we live in. Because our environment, even the most healthy conscious people may not be aware of the amount of toxins in their body. Healthy foods can also be deceptive. Believe it or not, even eating fruits and vegetables can increase our toxic risk from pesticides and contaminants depending on how they were grown. So even organic, what else? When you think of organic, you think of manure, okay, not chemical based, but it's still, there are still toxins, okay? Our bodies do not have the potential to cleanse themselves and work around the clock to get rid of the toxic overload. Toxins are cleansed in our bodies through the gastrointestinal, urinary, respiratory, and lymphatic systems, and organs such as the liver, okay? So how many people do you know that have liver issues? Our liver filters the toxins to eliminate through the kidneys and the intestinal tract. Our body also can naturally release toxins through sweat, mucus, and the skin. So our skin is our #1 chimney. So if you have a fever, for instance, okay, that comes through the skin. So that's our body's way of getting rid of toxins or trying to eliminate something. That's what a fever is all about, that temperature. So we also know that we need to drink plenty of liquids, okay? Fluids are very important to help flush and help that body do what it does naturally. You should be drinking half your body weight in ounces of water every single day. I know that sounds like a lot, right? But really it is, because the majority of us, when we feel hungry, we're not really that hungry. It's our mechanism that triggers, so that really we should be drinking. We're dehydrated typically, not in the way of a dehydration that will affect us as far as having to go to the hospital, but it could. But what you need to do is drink more water or more liquids, okay? Coffee is not part of our liquid diet, okay? It is possible for our body to get rid of toxins naturally, and that's the other reason for all the fluids, okay? So cleanse the body regularly, whether it's at least 2 times a year, okay? Every 6 months, kind of like the spring cleaning. You know, we get all revved up and we're ready, like, oh, spring's here, and so we're gonna clean out the closets, right? Or we're gonna clean out the garage because we've piled everything in the garage over the winter time because we don't want to go outside. Okay, so if you think about that, every 6 months, when you're doing things like that, cleanse your body. It's really super, super, super easy. Okay? You don't need to be aggressive about it. You just need to do something simple, right? Sometimes it will require more because your body is telling you all the time what it needs, but we typically ignore it. We think of it as, oh, it'll go away, right? So when's the last time that you ate anything and then afterwards you didn't feel good? That's a question, right? How many times do we do that and we go, oh, that's nothing, I just have a little bit of heartburn. Well, why do we get that heartburn? Okay, what food did you just eat? We have to pay attention, so because our body isn't always likes or doesn't always like what we put in it, right? So we really got to think about that. Okay, so Dr. Hill, Dr. David K. Hill, he's the chief advisor with medical and part of the medical advisory with doTERRA, and he does a daily regimen. So what doTERRA did is decided, hey, would you guys like to go on a 30-day challenge and possibly improve your health if you do it correctly every single day? And actually, it's not a possible. It is that you will improve your health and you will feel better. It's just making sure that you do it on a daily basis, right? And 30 days is nothing really. And if you could feel better after 30 days, wouldn't you want to do that? Okay. So when you think about the products that they want us to use, there are several. And there actually is a Lifelong Vitality Pack, which is this, okay? If you are a member with doTERRA, you can actually get this. There are 3 different bottles here, and they come in a size like this, okay? This is the BMC. This is our vitamins and minerals. And you can actually get this at a discount when you are a member with doTERRA. And it's not normally as a membership with doTERRA, we get 25% off retail prices anyway. But then they give us another discount when we put all 3 bottles together like this, and we buy it in a packaged deal. So I love that about doTERRA. And there are 3 specific bottles. You have your Alpha CRS, which is your concentrated formula for powerful antioxidants to help get rid of the free radicals in the body. Okay, that's really important. So have you ever discovered that as you get older, you feel like you don't have as much energy, right? That energy is the mitochondria in the cells that are eliminated as we get older. So what the Alpha CRS does is help us get back on track and help us get that energy back at a cellular level, right? And that's important because at a lot of these people nowadays are drinking all these energy drinks, like Red Bull and all this stuff. Well, they actually will harm the body more than do good, because it is actually creating gastral problems. It can cause other issues as well, because body's not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to run on this high-end caffeine that brings you an up and down spike. Okay, that is very difficult for our bodies. We're supposed to be more at a level. Okay, more of this kind of thing, not this spiky thing. Okay. So that's important to know that. Your omegas are important, right? So omegas are our brain function. So how many times have you felt like you're in a fog somewhere, okay? Or you feel like your memory isn't as good as it used to be. You need a very high quality omega, and doTERRA has what they call the Zeo Omega, and it's land and marine based. So it's not just a fish oil, and they're not very big. And you can see by the box, these are the different sizes, okay? So we have capsules, and the one in the middle is our omegas. They're little tiny red soft gels. And they're red because of the land omega that's in there, which is called astaxanthin. I know that's a mouthful, right? Astaxanthin is a very powerful land. It's a microalgae that is grown, and then they put it in these glass tubes, expose it to the sun, and it becomes red. That's how you know it's ready for harvest. And so that's why our omegas are red. And if you've ever done, and I'm not doing it for sake of what I want to get through, if you ever taken that omega and put it in water, we already know that oil and water don't mix, right? This will actually turn the water orange, okay, because of that particular astaxanthin microalgae. And it is something that you can get by itself too, but doTERRA puts the best of the best in all of the products because we want it to be 100% bioavailable. And you know, all of this affects our adrenals too. So when I talked about fatigue or not having the energy that we need, have you ever thought of it maybe being your adrenals as well? Okay, how do you fix the adrenals? Okay, this is part of it. So the omegas have a lot of fatty acids in them, land and marine based. Let's see, and then this is going to be a long one. So nanonormal lipid assimilation system. Okay, meaning that your body will absorb at 100%. Okay, not like the Costco vitamins, not like the Vitamin Flintstone vitamins. They are 100% absorbable by the body. That is a very, very important. Okay, the reason why is because it gets into your lymphatic system where you want things to go, not just your digestive system. You want to get within the whole body. That's why we want to fuel our whole body. Okay, we want good fuel. And then we have the VMZs. Your VMZ is all your vitamins and minerals. Okay, now there are 72 trace minerals in here. That's crazy, isn't it? A whole lot. And who would want to eat 13 quarts of blueberries all in one time? That's part of the equivalent in here. High antioxidants as well. Okay, and the nutrients that the body needs. So when you're filling in the gaps, supplements like this is what is very vital for your health and wellness. Okay, and so when we do a complete cleanse, part of if you really want to do a cleanse, endocrine is good to help clean up all the organs, like your lungs, your kidneys, the liver, and also your gastrointestinal tract and your skin. Okay, we can't forget the skin because we use it every single year, and we're exposed to the sun. Okay, and some of us like to sunbathe. I'm not on the side of the world where everyone sunbathes. Okay, we're usually not that warm. I think we will be this year though. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so it's a little different story. So on our 30-day challenge, this is the first thing, lifelong vitality. Take this daily, and I take this daily, and I know when I don't take this daily. Another thing to take is Terrazyme. Can you see that? Okay, Terrazyme. This is a product that will help create the enzymes you need in your digestive system to break down your foods and get more nutrition out of the food that you do eat. Okay, this is something that I take a lot of times. I don't take it daily, but I do take it quite often, and I do know that it makes a huge difference in how my digestive tract, how my stomach feels. And for those of you who have antacid problems, and if you're taking Tums or any of those, switch to this. I think you'll be amazed. I know you'll be amazed, because people that have those problems, it's because you do not have enough enzymes in the stomach to digest your foods. Okay, it's not the other way around. It's not that you have too much acid, it's because you don't have enough. Okay, so this really does help. And if you're ever interested, just take a glob of oatmeal, just put very little water with it, just enough to wet it, and then use about half of a capsule of Terrazyme, and this keeps stirring, and eventually it becomes very soupy. It's amazing. And then the next thing you want to do is PB Assist. Okay, this is your probiotic, okay, because we want to make sure that we have the right flora. We want the right amount of good bacteria in our digestive system, because we want to make sure that what we're eating and the supplements, that we're getting the best nutrition possible out of that. And so our probiotics help us with that. And I'm going to switch something here. Okay. So our probiotics are important for that reason. And then when we are Because if you've ever heard of, have you ever heard of Candida? That's one of my favorite subjects. And when I first got into this, I didn't know what Candida is. I had no clue. And unfortunately, the majority of people have no clue. Okay, if you've never heard of it, you're not sure what it is, look it up. It's amazing, because Candida can be an overgrowth and can cause so much damage to our entire well-being when it's an overgrowth of Candida. And by the way, here's some symptoms of Candida: weight gain out of the blue, skin problems like acne, psoriasis, foggy brain, we just talked about that, or trouble concentrating, mood swings, headaches, migraines. You get a lot of migraines. I know people that do. Maybe your skin just feels itchy all the time. It may not be just dry skin. Diarrhea, what about that? Depression, okay? Premenstrual syndrome, earaches. I know, that sounds crazy, right? Earaches. From a Candida problem in our digestive tract, that doesn't sound possible, right? That's why it's really, really something to really think about. Thrush is definitely one of the overgrowth of Candida, especially our young children. Think about them, okay? I know quite a few that get thrush. Well, their digestive system isn't on track. So how do you fix it, okay? Well, for kids, it's a little bit, it's not as hard as you think, because we have actually a essential oil that's called Digest Zen that can be put on their at their bottom of their feet with a carrier oil. But the other thing about that is that, and I've actually had to do that here. We had a family come and live with us and had an infant, and the baby had thrush really bad. So we just put Melaleuca on, because Melaleuca is can be used internally, and put it on a cotton swab and swabbed his tongue and his cheeks, okay, all over in there. Lemon is another one, so we just added a little bit of lemon with that, so it's not quite as bad, but that got him through, okay. Fatigue, how many of us feel fatigued all the time? Dizziness, nasal congestion or sinus problems. It may not be allergies, it may be a sign of Candida overgrowth. Maybe you have a lot of bloating going on, that can also be a sign of that. A low sex drive can be also another reason for another symptom of overgrowth of Candida. Okay, chronic pain. So now I've got your interest. So look up what Candida is, and what today's world of electronics is super easy. And so I think it's very important to know about this, because your body can't function correctly if you have an overgrowth of Candida, and it can lead to a lot of autoimmune issues. Okay, so think about your digestive system, because your digestive system has more neurotransmitters than in your brain. Okay, let me say that again. Your digestive system has more neurotransmitters in there versus the brain. So when they say they call that the second brain, that's the reason why. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, now we know about all that. So we've got the Lifelong Vitality Pack, right? Okay, that's this. Then we have the Terrazyme on a daily basis, so I'm going to be taking this daily. We have PB Assist, the probiotic, daily, okay? And then the other thing is, how do you get rid of or help support your muscle-skeleton system, right? That's Deep Blue Rub. That's this right here. I love this, and I even use this to help me go to sleep sometimes. It's just very, the fragrance of it is very soothing. So we have a blend of Lucasy and peppermint and wintergreen in here, and it's just a fabulous thing. And a lot of athletes use this, and we have a lot of people that even come from other essential oil companies and buy this, okay, even though they may not be exclusively with doTERRA. And it's whatever you decide, but this is important. Okay, so then we get into our essential oils, our daily essential oils. And, okay, so we want to boost our immune system, right? That's a given, especially if you have kids or grandkids that come every single day to your home or occasionally because, or they go to school, right? I have a grandson that was exposed to chickenpox when he was not quite 2. Well, they didn't show up until he was 6. They just showed up. So until the body's condition is right, then you're going to have problems, right? So On Guard is our immune support. That's this oil here. It's a blend of wild orange and clove, which clove is the highest antioxidant you can get on the planet. There's cinnamon and eucalyptus in there, and there's rosemary. So these essential oils are really good to help support the immune system. So do this a couple of drops daily. And there's several different ways you can use this essential oil. You can use it, and you can use this on the bottom of your feet, morning and night, couple drops, or some people just like it straight out of the bottle, okay, and put it under your tongue. Now I will say clove and cinnamon are highly potent, so please beware that it won't burn so much, but it will kind of make you numb a little bit. So if you ever have a toothache, On Guard's good for that, along with clove. Lime. Okay, everybody should be drinking their fluid. So what do you put in that water, right? Any citrus oil is really great for helping cleanse the liver and flush the liver. I'm a lime person. I like lime over lemon or grapefruit or orange. You could use orange, okay? So I use a lime. I also use this for my guacamole. So I cook with it too. Then there's also frankincense. How do you support the body's, not just the immune system, but its overall health, like helping reduce inflammation, right? We already have the Lifelong Vitality Pack, this one here, to help reduce inflammation of the body, help release the petrochemicals and get rid of the unwanted toxins, and help support our nutritional value, right? So frankincense is another one of those. This is a daily regimen of using this every single day. Okay, couple drops. That's all you need, couple drops. You can put, this is another one you can put underneath your tongue. You can also put it in your coffee. It actually doesn't taste too bad. It's kind of a nutty taste, but it's actually a resin that comes from the frankincense tree. Okay. And then what do we want? We want to balance. How do we balance ourselves every single day? Well, my go-to is what we call Balance. Okay, this is actually a blend and already has fractionated coconut oil in it, so it's already mixed for us. But when we have spruce is the #1 in here, oak wood, and the frankincense is in here again, the blue tansy, and which I really like the blue tansy. For some reason, I just love it. And that really is blue, by the way. It looks like ink when you put it on your skin. And then there's also the blue chamomile, which is this is an oil to put on you to ground you every single day. So this is an oil I put on every morning to help ground me for whatever's coming my way, right? It's a beautiful blend to help you in that grounding stage. And this is a beautiful oil to add with vetiver or even Serenity to actually help your kids that are a little bit on the go side, okay? They usually call it ADD or ADHD. Yeah, so if they're too much energy, let's bring them down a little bit. So the other is, how are you sleeping, okay? So how are you getting enough rest? And so lavender is a very good choice, and this is part of the challenge is lavender, or you can use Serenity. Okay, there's a Serenity blend that has lavender in it, and or you can use the Serenity soft gels, because there is a soft gel that you can take, and you take that about 30 minutes before you go to bed. Turn off the TV. If you're going to bed, turn off the TV. Don't watch TV before you go to bed. So read a book, do something besides watch that TV, because you'll feel better. You won't have all this extra junk in your brain, right? So that you can fall asleep better, okay? Or stay asleep. And there's several ways you can use this. You can use a couple drops, put some on a cotton ball next to your pillow. You can put this in a diffuser at night. You can put this on the bottom of your feet, or you can simply just take a drop like this. I'm going to show you here. Take a drop, rub it in your hands like this, and just smell, okay? That's the best way to help get that into your lungs, into your body, and let your brain react. And just read it again. Now I'm awake. I'm not going to be wanting to fall asleep, okay? So be mindful of that all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to sleep. No, it's not that. If you find that you are a little bit more like all over the map, maybe lavender is what you need, okay? And a little bit of balance every day. Okay, so those are our challenge essential oils and products. The lifelong vitality, right? Got to have the nutritional value. Plus we have to have the omegas, right, for all of the brain function. And then we have to have more energy, right? That's the alpha CRS. I don't have the bottle here. And then your Terrazyme, PBSS, right? And then all these oils. So that is the challenge. If you do have a account with doTERRA, it's still time. We're not going to start the challenge until the 15th, which happens to be Friday the 13th, or excuse me, or 2 days after Friday the 13th. We have a Friday the 13th this year. Anyway, so this coming weekend, you have time to order it and get it to your doorstep. If you're someone that does not have an account with doTERRA and you would like to come along with us on this particular challenge, you can get with the person that actually shared this video with you, or you can become a member and they can help you get it for the best price. If you don't have anybody or you're not sure what to do, then you can always contact me. I'm always there for anybody that would like to have my help. And I also want to, before we close, I want to give you a few tips, because we talked about the adrenals. If your body is not functioning correctly, then you can get what they call adrenal fatigue, okay? What is it that affects the adrenals? Okay, first off, it's when our car's not running right, our body isn't running right. Why? Because of toxins that build up, right? But let me give you a few other information. Life issues. So like financial pressure. How many of you struggle with finances? How about the death of someone that you loved, whether it's immediate or someone else that you knew? How about your job? Okay, your job is a very usually a #1 stress factor. How about your marriage? How's your marriage doing? That is another stress factor, and especially finances and marriage kind of go together. If you're stressing over finances, you're stressing in your marriage. So emotional stress can lead to problems, because emotions and stress in itself create what I consider a chemical soup. Okay, the buildup of cholesterol, buildup of cortisol, and your adrenals are affected by that. So any negative emotions and negative beliefs, right? And it's on even if it's just a little one, if it's allowed to fester, can lead into other issues. Okay. Your body. What about allergies? Okay, that's a stress factor. And infections, whether acute or chronic, can also be that way. How about when you get a cut, or you have a wound, or maybe you just had surgery? That's another one that can create a little bit of that fatigue that affects the adrenals, because the body's trying to heal itself. What about your lifestyle? Do you smoke? Do you drink a lot of alcohol? Do you overdo it? Do you not sleep very often? Do you not sleep, like maybe you only sleep 4 hours a night? That's not healthy for the body either, okay? Poor eating habits are another way that affect the adrenals. You know, we already know that toxins do. How about diet? What are you eating? What are you drinking? Are you drinking a lot of caffeine? Drinking a lot of coffee? Are you not eating good foods like fruits and vegetables? Are you eating a lot of carbohydrates? Are you eating at McDonald's all the time? Are you eating out all the time? Okay. Are you eating a lot of sugars? Or flours or white flour? Anything white, like white rice, things like that. And when it comes to sugars, it's not just the sugar you put on your cereal or in your coffee. Okay. Read labels. Learn to go to the store and read labels. You will be utterly floored when you start doing that and understand that there is sugar in every single product out there. And even with our fruits and vegetables here in America, I have the opportunity to be with a group that came from Slovakia, and they were amazed, or actually they were floored as to how sweet our fruits and our vegetables were. And I'm like, wait, our vegetables aren't sweet, but to them, they are, because it's a whole different world over there than what we have here. It's the way that our crops are grown. Okay, so keep that in mind, because I never really thought of that until they said that. And so we have that conversation, and it's like plants are totally grown differently over there than they are here. So in the United States, we take a lot of things for granted, and unfortunately, we have a lot of products that we consume that are really not healthy for us in many different ways, but we still have to eat, right? So unless you have your own garden and your own way of sustaining yourself completely, then you're still going to have foods that will affect your adrenals, okay? All right, so that kind of puts that in a little nutshell. And there are other cleanses. So if you feel like you have a candida overgrowth, there are other cleanses to consider. doTERRA has a great 30-day cleanse. It's not a challenge, it is a cleanse, and it's a little different than what we just went through. And you can do a Google search on that, and you'll find, and go under, Google search doTERRA 30-day cleanse, and go under images, and that's where you'll find a variety of different images that will help you understand or what to do with a cleanse. Okay, totally different than this challenge right now, because there's more that needs to be done. So if you've never done a cleanse before, think about doing that, and otherwise think about doing this challenge with us. I'm looking forward to see how many of us do well, and I want to hear the goods and the bads of everybody that decides to get involved with this challenge. So again, this starts on the 15th, and we will go until the 15th of May, and I'm looking forward to this. If you would like to continue with and want to get this education to your phone directly, you can text the word, the @ sign, Heavens Oil, HEAVENSOIL, to 81010. So text the word @Heavens Oil to 81010, and you will get the live links and the replays. So you guys have a great day. I'm looking forward to Monday to find out who has started, and we'll continue this education. And I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So you guys have a great week and enjoy, and we will see you soon. Thanks again.